Well, what better way to start a Tour de Fleece video than out in the pasture? Look at these girls. And apparently a baby is lost. But it is that time of year. Tour de Fleece is just around the corner, and I've decided this year it's the right thing for me to do. I need that push to get some stuff done. As you can see, we've got, let's see if I can get them into the shot here. We've got a few of this year's lambs out, and look at the gorgeous fleece on him. Oh, he's beautiful. Tour de Fleece. Basically, we spin while Tour de France is cycling, spinning. You know how it goes. So we've got 3 weeks of really getting stuff done. And as many of you know, 10, 11, almost 12 years ago now, I chose Icelandic sheep because I wanted to be a spinner. I love knitting and crocheting and weaving, and I wanted to create that product on my own. So the decision was Icelandic was the way to go. But at that time, it was only 5 sheep. Now, with babies, which you can hear all in the distance, we are up to 36 sheep. So that's a lot of fleece. And as you're going to see here in a minute, I have managed to collect a lot of fleece. And the goal for Tour de Fleece for 2025 is purely just to spin. Emmett! He's like our dumbest sheep. I'll try and get a shot of him to clip in here. Elliot. Hi, Elliot. Hi, Emmett. Hi. They're a little jumpy. So, really, I have managed to collect a lot of fleece over the years, and the pure goal for Tour de Fleece this year is to spin as much as possible. I have to wash, card, and spin, and it needs to get done. And next step here is to see just how much fleece we have managed to collect, and we're gonna go from there. Apparently, everybody wants to go back to the barn. It's bright out today, and it's like 6 o'clock at night, but that's the only time that it's cool enough to be outside right now. But as I mentioned, Tour de Fleece is going to be processing as much as we can, and we're going to be working with wool, particularly Icelandic wool. Now, as you just saw, we have a flock of over 30 sheep and a lot of fleece, and now is time, and it is so embarrassing, to show you how I have managed to store 5 years of fleece. I think the first step is going to be gathering it all up, seeing what we got to work with, and then it's going to be seeing what is still salvageable. I know there's going to be stuff that is a complete, oh, that breeze is beautiful. There is going to be stuff that is a complete write-off because I have not stored this well. It's just in plastic bags or Rubbermaid totes, or open to the air. I've tried multiple methods, all of them stored outside in the winter so that everything that could possibly be in it is frozen solid, because here in Canada, that's what happens. So let's start with taking a look at where I have all my fleece. Oh, hi Blue. Okay, so first spot that we have is 2025 shearing season fleece, and it's in the barn. But take a look at this cutie pie first. Not the cat. Hi Val, how are you? This is our ram Val. So as embarrassing as this is, right behind me here, you can see 2025's fleece still in the bags from where I removed it from the sheep. Now, the one thing I will say is I have managed to process 5 of 2025's fleece, so that's not too bad, and I'm almost done number 6, so I've been chugging away at it, but that still leaves at least 19 from 2025. Storing fleeces has never been one of my strong suits. I love taking them off. I love processing them, but I get overwhelmed very easily by the sheer quantity of the ones that I have. And I do feel that my skills maybe as a shearer and at keeping that fleece clean on the sheep itself are not, she wants some attention, are not necessarily good enough to sell that raw product. So I tend to leave it so that I can pick through it and just use the best of the best, because that's one of the beautiful things about raising so many sheep. I can throw out what doesn't make the cut and I don't have to feel too terribly bad about it. So I'm going to show you the next spot, which is really old fleece. So we're currently traveling up into the hayloft of the barn. I know, isn't that terrible? What do we have here? More bags of fleece. What I have here is, I believe, 21 fleeces from the years 2022 and 2021. And I'll be honest, I'm really hoping that it is still salvageable. I mean, when I pull this out here, to be honest, it still looks quite good. Like, not too much really going on there. There is a lot of hay matter in these, and I know that, so I know I'm not going to get many skeins out of each one, which is why I think maybe this Tour de Fleece is a way to tackle some of this. Downfall is you have to sort and wash, and I didn't prep well ahead. So we are right now July 2nd, and Tour de Fleece starts on July 5th. So as I mentioned, mega embarrassing that my fleece storage situation has gotten to that level, and it's not the worst of it. We're now gonna go to the woodshed, which is right there. So I'm looking at this and almost debating not showing you because it is bad. This, okay, I'm gonna give you a rundown here before I show you. There are some Rubbermaid totes here that came with us when we moved 6 years ago. Everything in them is vacuum sealed in bags, but that doesn't mean that it is still salvageable. And I'll be honest, 7 years ago, I didn't know as much about what was good fleece and what wasn't, and what was a good shearing job and what wasn't. So I have a feeling a lot of it's just going to be sorting and mulching on plants. But let's take a look. It's so bad. All right, friends, don't judge. So right there, we've got one tote that probably has 3 or 4 fleeces vacuum sealed. And then we have another tote, a bag, a bag. Oh, and we have a good tumble down here where my fleece just kind of fell. I imagine some sort of critter was in here. Oh good, I'm in out of the sun and now I can see. But let's just pull this, oh my God, it's so heavy, off here for 1 second, and you can see more fleece. Oh my goodness, so much fleece. I don't know if any of this is really going to be worth anything. Oh, it doesn't break when I pull. That's one of the signs that your fleece is pretty much toast. But a lot of it is very dirty, and I don't know whether I'm even going to bother. I do think we have finally come to that time that, you know, it's that point of no return. I really need to sort stuff because there is no point in storing stuff that is garbage. And it's taking up space, and I know I cannot process all this fleece. So, where do we go from here? We're going to get it all out, we're going to make a pile, and we're going to sort. So that is going to be our next video on our Tour de Fleece, is getting all of this organized and ready to go. So the one thing I will say before I close out this video is that I do have a bunch of fleece washed and ready to go. And at the end of this video, I will just give you a little clip of what is ready for processing. And we're still going to come back to this because I think it's going to be a really weird goal for Tour de Fleece. I'm going to spin, but it also is time to sort. All right, so this is what I have ready to go. We've got a gorgeous blonde colored moirette. I've even carded some of that. We've got a washed up, ready to go black. I know it looks dark brown. That's one of the things about the Icelandic, is it very rarely stays black. Up here we have a absolutely gorgeous moirette gray. Look at these long tendrils of blondie brown in there with the gray. I've already actually spun a few of these. It spins up beautifully, but I'd love to get that finished. And then next to that we have another moirette gray, but again it is a lot lighter colored than that. You can see it kind of next to it. It's very much paler and spins up very different. I would like to finish that one off. Like I mentioned, all of these are washed. I have a little bit of an oddity here. It's got a bit of, it was a spotted sheep. I really don't like spotted sheep, but it had some color that I just saved. And I thought I'm going to mix it with some of the blue and just kind of make a really nice funky art yarn. That's going to be new for me. And then we've got another one that's going to surprise you guys. And then here, another one. We've got some yellow and blue in there that I dyed. That was a white fleece that I had, and I'm mixing it with some gray. I think it's going to be beautiful, and I want to put some like shiny Angelina type stuff in there, so we'll see. Watch this space to see how that goes. And a big pile of white to just either dye or use. We'll see. So basically that's where we're at for the processed fleece, the stuff that's been washed. Some of it's even been carded, some of it's even been dyed. Definitely getting out of my comfort zone on a few things for this Tour De Fleece. So we've got a lot ready to go, but I still really want to aim to sort that fleece that's outside. All those old ones we're going to go through. We're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to learn some things along the way, I'm pretty sure, on how to care for your fleece. Because I can tell you right now, I can show you what not to do. So stay tuned as we start whipping this up. I know there's a couple challenge days that are involved too. I got to do a bit more research on those, but I'm going to experiment with some art yarns, I think, on them, and maybe some chain plying, because I do love chain plied, but I'm not super great at it yet. So mostly I spin a Lopi yarn, which you can go back and watch some other videos and see how we do that. But enough of my chatting. Here comes some of that shearing from earlier this year, and wish me luck as we move forward on the Tour De Fleece. All right, so while Goody settles into the stand and enjoys some treats, we're just going to talk about this. I mean, I probably don't even have to say anything. This is incredible. If I pull it out, I'll get Chris to do a zoom up shot here. That is a good, I'm going to say 10 inches at least. It actually drags almost on the ground, and it's beautiful and soft and so much inner coat. It's going to be interesting getting it off because it's going to be a tougher shear, but beautiful to work with later, I think. Well, the nice thing today is I have Christopher to help me out, and what we're doing is we're each picking a side and just working our way down. So that's the wonderful thing. You can go double speed if you've got 2 sets of clippers and 2 sets of hands. Look at that. Wow, never has one of our sheep come off like that. This is a great step forward. I'm going to call it a step forward in my shepherding abilities, I think. Wow, that is unbelievable amount of fleece. So look at that, and very clean. Hope this is filming clear enough. Very little vegetable matter, which is awesome. So take a look at this. Watch, I'm going to pull it off. It is so gorgeous. It got so heavy, I didn't want to keep pulling it off, but look. So much already off. And to be honest, I've only been working on it for maybe 10 minutes. This is working fantastic in here. Now I'm just going to gently pull this loose and put it in the bag. And we'll start the next round. So the first thing we're going to check with her is if she has, oh, I know you're upset, a break. And I have a feeling she does. A lot of my gray sheep do. And what that is when you pull it, look, it comes off. So she's not super enjoying my doing it that way. So we are still going to use the clippers, but the break does make it a lot easier to get this off a lot quicker. So very much the same as what I did with Freya. I'm going to climb up on the stand. I'm going to part and find a center. I know, Chloe. And we're just going to cut down that middle. That just gives us that starting point, which is so important when you have fleece so thick. We're now getting down to the part here you can see where we've got that nice break and less of these little like fluffy ends. So hopefully we're going to get some really nice stuff for spinning. And this is thick fleece, so there's a lot of it here. All right, so Chloe is officially getting too much pull from the weight of this. So we're going to take it off what we can so far. and just gently tug it. Honestly, it's incredible. You can see right there, actually, you can see where I started to cut off some of those knobby ends that we missed from last year. I know the light isn't capturing it super perfect, but this fleece is so intriguing to me. It is that gray with just a little bit of speckling of black and cream all at the same time. I'm so curious as to how this is going to spin up. You'll just have to stay tuned for that.